Okay, the last time we were talking, you had gone to the French Riviera, and you talked about the mayor was the mayor of, let's see, okay, Mr. Noel gave you a letter addressed to the mayor of Nice. But the mayor opened up a special bottle of wine to welcome you and everything. Okay, now, in your notes, after that, you say back in Paris. So you went down to the French Riviera and stayed there for how long? A week or a few days? Or?
It was probably a week. I don't remember anything.
Okay. And then you went back to Paris after that. And how did you go? Did they have a bus to drive you?
On the road, we went down train.
Oh.
Got on a train in Paris and went there.
Ah, okay. So now, after that, you're back in Paris, and here's where you say one of your worst experiences was caused by an American soldier.
Oh yeah, in the metro, in the subway, where the guy was a black guy, and I was standing by just one door to the subway, to the car, and he and another black guy were the next car door down. And then as we stopped at this one station, all of a sudden he stepped over and said, "I heard what you said," and went like this, and I didn't know anything happened, but a Frenchman was standing in back of me, and he grabbed me, pulled me back, and I wondered what was going on. I was cut across the hand with a knife. The Frenchman had seen the knife, and I never did see anything. Jeez. And of course the guy stepped out just as the door was closed again, so.
Man, did it cut very bad, or just a?
No, well, it was bleeding and everything, but I just went to the infirmary and got back to the city university, and they put a patch on it, and that was it.
So the guy that pulls you back and maybe helped keep you from getting cut bad, did he speak English? Or?
He didn't speak any English. He might have known English, but he didn't say anything. I didn't say anything to him. I don't even know if I thanked him, because but
Okay, then you say at sometime after Germany's surrender, HQ, ETO, United States Army, or Italza, began to shut down. You don't recall exactly the timing, but the officers began preparing reports recommending each other for citations.
yeah, that's what I was told. I had no way of really knowing if that was true or not. But
and then they just sort of disappeared?
Never saw them again.
So they just left y'all, you're still in Paris, and then your commanding officers all of a sudden just leave and left you and whoever else was there.
Right. Well, all I know, we were a bunch of enlisted men that didn't have anything to do or any place to go. They were gone. I don't know where they went or when, but.
So when that happened, you had to move out of the city university?
Yeah. They said we had to move out, but they couldn't tell us to go. We had to go to a certain place or anything. We were just cut loose.
Just told you had to leave. But then you say you went to a small hotel near the Arc de Triomphe?
Yeah.
So what happened there?
Well, the guys like Neil Parrott and some of the other guys that spoke French talked to the manager of the hotel and letting us move in there, and so we moved in to the little tiny hotel. And that's when every time he would ask about getting paid or anything, they would hand him a thing with a stamp on it, That's why I say he probably still trying to get some money. I don't know.
So he told him that the U.S. government would be paying for it, and just made up some little thing that he stamped on
Yeah.
paper to give it to the guy.
That's what they were doing. I wasn't doing it. But the ones that spoke French were doing all dealing with him all the time.
So now you had no duties. You have nobody in command. Just a bunch of enlisted men in Paris. So what did you start doing then?
Started wandering around to go see things that we should have been visiting while the whole time we were there, but hadn't done. Like anytime you go someplace, you don't bother with it.
So
one of the places was the Louvre. Went there and it was closed, so I never did get into the Louvre to see it. I went to Napoleon's tomb. I remember that.
did you go on the Eiffel Tower? You visit the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah, but I had been there before, and
so you say that you did clean out the security room in the Hotel Majestic in accordance with regulations.
yeah.
Okay, explain that.
Well, the regulations call for disposal of all classified documents, and you have to list each one that's destroyed and show classification, and then the entire list has to be classified at the highest level of the document that you destroyed.
Oh, so if you had some that were secret, some that were top secret, and some that were
Bigot
top secret bigot, the list of the things destroyed had to be
had to
bigot.
be shown or classified as top secret bigot.
So did it, in the security room there in Paris, did you have some top secret bigot materials? That
Oh
you
yeah, a lot of stuff. But then,
So was there somebody helping you do this, or were you just doing it
I
on
was
your
doing
own?
this on my own, and had regular old mail bags, big canvas, like U.S. mail bags, and I'd throw them in there, each one. And I don't know how many bags I ended up with, but I took them down to the basement of the hotel, and there was a big furnace down in there, and threw them in there and burned it all up.
Including the canvas bags?
No,
Oh,
bags.
you emptied the bags and threw the stuff in there. So you're destroying all these things, including the super secret, top secret bigot materials, and there are no commanding officers around, and you're just following the rules. And
Then I took the list and went to find an officer in the headquarters there that had clearance for top secret or anything like that, and no one would accept the list. So I finally burned the list itself.
Man. Okay, so then after that, you said luckily y'all were still allowed to eat at Les Moulins du Berry.
Yeah,
It was a fancy restaurant, or?
yeah, fairly large restaurant on the Rue de Berry, just off of the Champs-Élysées.
So you were getting your meals for free, or did you have to pay for them?
No, I didn't have to pay for them. It was just like a military mess hall.
Were there other U.S. soldiers eating there besides your little group of enlisted
Oh
men?
yeah.
Ah.
We still had the identification card and everything. It entitled us to be eating there.
So were you eating all your meals there?
Yeah.
So you're getting meals and you're touring Paris and seeing stuff, but no orders or anything.
Yeah.
So how long did y'all decide that maybe something needed to be done?
I don't know, but probably about 2 weeks, something like that. And the guys went to the headquarters company for the units around there, and finally talked to him. They told him they said they couldn't do anything because we didn't exist as far as they were concerned. So the guys asked them if they would let them use a typewriter and a mimeograph machine. And they told them go ahead. So that's when the guys wrote up orders moving us to Germany, into Germany to SHAFE headquarters at Frankfurt on Main. And they wrote up these orders, ran off copies on the mimeograph machine, so that we each had a copy of the orders and all that. And that's what we used then to get on this special train going into Germany.
So you wrote your own. Why did you decide to go to SHAFE headquarters in Germany?
Well, we had to go somewhere, and that was the highest headquarters we could go to and maybe get something done. So.
And the train, y'all wrote yourself passes that could be used on the train?
Yeah, but these orders got us on the train all right. And the train is, I called, supposed to be for VIPs or something going between Paris and SHAFE headquarters in Germany. And so when I went into Germany, I went in style.
Wow. So when you get off the train in Frankfurt, how did you figure out where to go to get to the SHAFE headquarters?
Well, there were enough Americans wandering around and everything, I guess. And so we knew we found where to go and went to the E.G. Farben building, these big, E.G. Farben was big industry headquarters.
So did you take a taxi there, or just?
No, I don't remember how specifically we got there, but
Wow. So SHAFE, which is the Supreme Headquarters, what does that stand for?
Supreme Headquarters Allied Expeditionary Force, I believe, or something.
So that was Eisenhower's headquarters.
Yeah.
Since he was in charge of everything. So they don't know y'all are coming. At this point, the Army says y'all don't exist. They don't know anything about you.
And we show up and tell them, well, we're here, our orders to come here.
So what did they say?
I don't know. Luckily, some of the guys in our group had enough know-how about the office duties of the headquarters and things like that, so they knew how to get their way around.
Now, at this point, you were a sergeant, right?
Yeah, I think I may have been staff sergeant by then.
Oh, that's higher than sergeant?
Yeah, that's sergeant with three stripes, and then the staff get one bottom stripe on.
So like a V on the bottom.
And then that's when they would pick one guy and send him out and be okay, and give him, you go to so-and-so and give him orders. And then I got orders to go to Esslingen, Germany. And
these are orders actually from SHAFE now at this point?
Yeah. I didn't know what was going on, but they said that, told me that they were going to send me to this unit in Esslingen. And then they put me on a truck, and I went all the way down to Esslingen through, what's the name of the college town, university town?
I don't know.
Uh,
Well, that must have been sort of a fun ride.
yeah, I got to see a good bit of Germany on the way there.
Did you see a lot of war damage and blown up things? You didn't? No.
Yeah.
So you weren't
'Cause they
you
never-
weren't in the big cities or anything?
Yeah,
you just-
that was through back country and through little towns. And
So were you sitting in the back of a truck or?
it was sitting, it wasn't really one of the trucks. It may have been a Jeep. It was, because I was the only one beside the driver sitting down there.
Now the other guy. Now, at that point, how many were there of the enlisted men that all of a sudden you're having to make your own orders and stuff? How big was your
How
group?
many were left?
Yeah.
I really don't know, because several of them were sent out before I was told to head out.
So when you left Paris, it was maybe 10 of you, 15?
About 10.
Okay.
About 10 of us.
And were all of them some sort of officer? Like, were they all sergeants or master sergeants? Or?
No, all the way down to private.
Oh, so there were some privates in there too. So you get to Esslingen, and let's see. So you're going to Esslingen. Okay, you say here that Sergeant Parent, who you knew from back in Normandy,
Yeah.
he went to Military Government Detachment G23, stationed in the small town of Esslingen, Germany, east of Stuttgart. Then he got his commanding officer, Colonel Taylor, to request your assignment to G23.
Yeah, that's how I happened to be going that way. I didn't know at the time what it was. When I got down there, I found the parent was there, and he had arranged for this.
How did he know where you were, or to even request that you go to Esslingen?
I really don't know.
So Detachment G20, what does Detachment G23 mean?
Well, there was a military government detachment, and they were, G was the size of the detachment for little towns or something like that. I think that's how it worked. So G23 was this little detachment that was in this small little village or city of Esslingen. And Colonel Taylor was the commanding officer, sort of the head of the area, and he dealt with the mayor, of course, of the town. And there was, like one officer was a lawyer, and so he was handling legal matters with the Germans. And then the other guy was had been a policeman, or he was a policeman. He was in charge of the police force down there, and different things like that.
And so there were, in that little detachment, the G23, there were 10 officers and 5 enlisted men.
That's about right.
Okay. It almost sounds like Colonel Hogan and Hogan's Heroes, except that instead of being in a prison camp, you're in a little town, and you had each of us had your own vehicle and an apartment.
Yeah,
Well, that must have been pretty nice.
it was. Good duty as far as that goes. So,
So at this point, are you figuring you're not in any big rush to get back to the States?
no,
'Cause
not at that point yet.
and
When I got there, parent was getting ready to leave, and as I understood it, however he knew where I was, or I found out, he was figuring on somebody to replace him so that he could go. And so his car turned over to me and everything.
So you did take over from him when he left? And, okay, what kind of car was that?
First one was a little Opal, I think it was.
Wow.
In fact, well, it's one of the things I had somewhere. There's a picture of him standing by this Opal car on the street.
Ah. Now this time you're how old? 22, 23, 21?
About 22, I guess.
And then you say here that your vehicle was a commandeered Mercedes-Benz coupe that you inherited when Sergeant Parent left and went back to the United States. So that was his car?
Well, the first one was an Opal. And it was a little later, really, that I got this, and the Mercedes assigned to me.
Okay. Turn it off for a minute here, just a second.